In general, Section 11 of the Code of Civil Procedure embodies the doctor res judicata or the rule of conclusive of a judgment as or law or fact and law in every subsequent between the same parties in enacts that once a matter is finally a competent court, no party can be permitted to reopen it in a subsequent litigation. In the absence of such rule, there will be no end to litigation. The parties would be put the constant trouble, harassment and expenses. The doctrine has accepted in all civilized legal system under the Roman law. A defendant could successfully contest a suit filed by a plaintiff on the plea of ex capito res judicata. It was said one suit and one decision is enough for any single dispute. In the words of Spencer Browse, a res judicata means a final judicial decision pronounced by a judicial tribunal having competent jurisdiction over the case or matter in litigation and over the parties thereto. Section 11 of the Code of Civil Procedure reads thus: no court shall try any suit or issue in which the matter directly and substantially in issue has been directly and substantially in issue in a former suit between the same parties or between parties under the whom they or any them claim, litigating under the same title in a court competent to try such subsequent suit or the suit in which such issue has been subsequently arised and has been heard and finally decided by the court. Explanation 1. The expression former suit shall denote a suit which has been decided prior to the suit in question whether or not it was instituted prior thereto. Explanation 2. For the purpose of this section, the competence of court shall be determined irrespective of any provision as to a right of appeal from the decision of such court. Nature and scope. The principle is also founded on justice, equity and require that a party who has once succeeded on a issue should not be harassed by multiple of proceedings involving the same of the code contents in the statutory form. With illuminating explanation, very statutory principle of public policy, it is embodies civilness and operates as a bar to try the same issue. One avoids vacation litigation. Object: the doctrine of res judicata is based on the three maxims as observed by Sir Lewis Jennings. The rule of res judicata, while founded on account of precedent, is dedicated by a wisdom which for is all times. History: Hindu law as Purvanava former judgment. Under the Roman law, it was recognized that one suit and one decision was enough for any single dispute. The doctrine was accepted in the European continent and in the law Commonwealth countries. All times the rule worked harshly on individual. For instance, when the former decision was obviously erroneous, but it was working as justified on the great principle of public policy, which required that there must be an end to every litigation. The basis of the doctrine of res judicata is public interest and not absolute justice. In the event of a wrong decision, the suffering citizen must be appealed to the lawgiver and not to the lawyer. Extent and applicability: the doctrine of res judicata is fundamental concept based on public policy and private interest. it is convenient in the large public interest which is required that a very litigation must be come to an end. It therefore applies to civil suit, execution proceeding, abrogation proceeding, taxation matter, industrial adjustment, writ petition, administrative orders, interim orders, criminal proceeding, etc. Res judicata and rule of law. The doctrine of res judicata is of universal application in the historic decision of Dryer versus State of UP. The Supreme Court has placed the doctrine of res judicata on a steel border foundation. In that case, the petitioner has filed writ petition in the High Court of Allahabad under Article 226 of the Constitution, and they were dismissed. Thereafter, they filed substantive petition in the Supreme Court under Article 32 of the Constitution for the same relief, and on the grounds the respondent raised a preliminary objection regarding maintainability of the petition by contending that the prior decision of the High Court would operate as res judicata to petition under Article 32. The Supreme Court upheld the contention and dismissed the petition. Res judicata and res sub judice. The doctrine of res sub judicata from res sub judice in two aspects. First one is, whereas res judicata applies to matter adjudicated upon, res judice apply to a matter pending trial, and res sub judicata bars the trial of suit or an issue which has been decided in a former suit. Res sub judice bar trial of a suit which is pending decision in a previous instituted suit. Res sub judicata and lis pendens. The doctrine of lis pendens is only aspects of the rule of res judicata, whereas the principle of lis pendens laid down in section 52 of the Transfer of Property Act 1882 is that an alien's pendent right is bound on the come out of the litigation. The rule in section 11 of the code relates to matter which have passed in res scutum, where a conflict exists between the doctrine of res judicata and lis pendens. The former will prevail over the latter. Res sub judicata and withdrawal of suit. Order 23 Rule 1 deals with the withdrawal of suits. It enacts that where the plaintiff withdraws the suit or abandons his claim without the leave of the court, he will be precluded from the institution a fresh suit in aspect of the same cause of action. The distinction between res judicata and withdrawal of suit lies in between the parties. In the latter, the plaintiff himself withdraws or abandon his claim before it is adjudicated on merits. Res sub judicata and estoppel. The doctrine of res judicata is often treated as a branch of the law of estoppel. Res judicata is really estoppel by verdict or estoppel by judgment or record. The rule of constructive res judicata is nothing else but a rule of estoppel. Even then, the doctrine of res judicata differs in essential particular from the doctrine of estoppel. Thanks for watching. To subscribe, hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications.